Hey guys, I'm in my office right now just because I wanted to put together a really quick video. I hope I can get this done quick to share with you my latest recipe. It's really good. I think I mastered I'm gonna call it Bren's Clam Chowder because I am not a New England or East Coast girl, as you can tell. I'm Ohio, and however, I've had the privilege of going to quite a few different restaurants, and actually my favorite clam chowder my husband used to bring home from the airport, believe it or not, in Boston, Massachusetts, at what's the name of that? Real Seafood, I think is what it's called, at the airport. You can actually have it, they package it up really nice, and you can bring it home with you and it will still be safe to eat, even if you flew all the way to California from Boston. They package it up awesome, but that's a whole nother video. Anyhow, today I'm going to share my recipe, and this turned out really good. In fact, the boys both liked it a lot. This recipe today was inspired by a loaf of bread, actually. My daughter gave my son this delicious loaf of sourdough bread from Zingerman's Bakery. I don't know if you've heard of them. If you haven't, you should look them up because they really know their bread's up there. So what goes great with sourdough bread? Clam chowder. Don't forget, you can click over to my website to find the complete recipe and print option so you can create this delicious soup. And if you like it, don't forget to tweet me. Now, I hope the fact that I'm using my power pressure cooker to make this soup doesn't freak you out, because a lot of people do get really disturbed with the idea of using a pressure cooker. I was one of them, not because I think you lose the value of your food at all, which is a myth. You don't. It actually retains the nutrition of vegetables and food that you cook in a pressure cooker. But because, I don't know, the old pressure cookers terrified me. You know, I can remember my family canning in a pressure cooker on the stovetop, and my father was always terrified, make sure you seal that correctly because it'll blow up. Well, yeah. That never happened with my electric cooker. In fact, I use the electric pressure cooker almost daily here because I just love it. It makes things so much easier to cook, and the flavor is amazing. And well, just try this recipe and you'll see what I'm talking about. To start out with, we are going to take a small sweet onion and a couple of stalks of celery and dice them up. Add roughly 2 tablespoons of a good olive oil to the pressure cooker that's heating up. My Power Pressure Cooker XL uses the chicken meat setting for saute. Each electric pressure cooker and Instapot device is different, so be sure to read what your product recommends for saute. Okay, so once the onions and celery are sauteed, it takes about 2 minutes for that. Go ahead and pour in both cans of the chopped clam. And next, I'm going to use a full jar of clam juice before adding 1 cup of water with 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon. Now I'm going to add 1 more cup of water to the pressure cooker. Stir it up a little bit before adding my tiny petite potatoes that I've cut to bite size. These are so super creamy once they cook up. Okay, so once the potatoes are in, I added about 2 teaspoons of garlic salt. If you're trying to cut back on salt, you can omit that. I'm going to add about a half a cup of half and half before I put the lid on to get this soup going. It's so easy. Now, once again, don't forget, read your directions for your product. Mine, I kind of have to push it down a little bit before turning into lock position. And be sure the little tap at the top is set correctly. Excuse the fingerprints and all the smudges on the top. Like I said, I use this power pressure cooker almost daily. Now the super fun part, the lid's on correctly, and all I have to hit is the soup setting on this, and it takes about 10 minutes to cook. Watch out for this little hole on top once the cooking process is done. I like to let my pressure cooker release on its own. And here we go. This is really hot, but look. Oh, it smells amazing. I wish you guys could smell this clam chowder I just whipped up. Check it out. You can see the celery. It's a little crunchy, but not too crunchy. The potatoes are nice and soft and creamy. And of course, there's the sourdough bread. And there it is. Did that make you hungry? It was super, super yummy. That recipe put together about 6 nice sized bowls of soup. And like I said, if you're interested, be sure to check out my website at brenhaus.com for all the details, more images, and of course, more pressure cooker recipes and other creative living ideas.